Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're going to continue our series on the HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen11 server. In this video, we're going to specifically focus on drives, both hard drives and solid-state drives. Let's get going. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by today. To learn a little bit more about the HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen11 server, do us a favor if you find anything that helps you in this video. Click that like, smash that subscribe. All right, let's hop in. Now, this will be a continuation of our series, and we will be specifically focused on drives. So what we're going to do in this video as a whole, we're going to go over some general information about the types of chassis that you can use, because there are different types of chassis, and that's going to basically change what drives you use. Then we're going to show you the different compatible interfaces. We will then go over the speeds and sizes and kind of like a little chart that compares those for the different interfaces to just kind of make it easier for you to know, like, hey, if I use this interface, I can max out at this speed or at this size, right? Then we're going to show you how to install some of these normal just 2.5-inch hot swap drives, and they'll be very easy because they're hot swap, but nonetheless, we're going to show you how to do that. Then at the very end, we're going to show you how to do two testing tools that we are big fans of. One of them is going to be the HP embedded application diagnostics tool that's just right on the server, and the other is a standalone tool that we like called HD Sentinel, and we'll use this sometimes where we will bring in a drive and we will throw it into one of the storage arrays that we have set up in our testing bed, and we will run HD Sentinel to see the power on hours, just to make sure it's new, see the health scores, all that good stuff. So we're going to show you both those testing tools. So let's just hop into all the fun stuff. All right, so let's talk about the different types of chassis. So there are 4 different types of chassis that you can get for the DL365 Gen11 HPE ProLiant server. So the first chassis, a very popular option, is going to be an 8-bay small form factor, which is going to be your regular, just 2.5-inch U.2, U.3 for the NVMe side type of drive. That is going to be a tri-mode, which means you can put in SATA, SAS, or NVMe. NVMe is what we would recommend because not only is it the fastest and best drive, it actually is less expensive than SAS or SATA right now, which is kind of hard to believe, but NVMe is the best option in my opinion. And with NVMe, you can roll with software RAID. If you are using SAS, I do want to note you do have to have a hardware RAID controller, so that is one downside of SAS. SAS is a little bit faster than SATA, one advantage, and we'll talk about that coming up. But that is the first chassis. The second chassis, just add 2 more drives. You're going to get a 10-bay tri-mode, all the drives in the front still, and that's going to be, again, SATA, SAS, or NVMe. The third chassis is going to have 20 E3.S drives. And if you're not familiar with the E3.S drives, I don't want to call them like a USB or a M.2, but it's a smaller type of drive. The general purpose would be to put a bunch in them. You can put 20 of them in this machine. So now you can get 20 drives into a 1U. That's the advantage. The manufacturers really felt like this was going to catch on. I remember reading a lot of projections that this was going to become mainstream, really like right now and over the next couple of years. And just really doesn't seem, at least in our world, that it's become that prevalent. I feel like most people still want to go with just the regular 2.5-inch or U.2, U.3 drives. So that is an option. You can get 8 E3.Ss. You might go, well, why do I get 8? Like, why don't you just use the 2.5-inch drives at that point? Well, it's a good question. What they actually did, and it's a pretty cool little design that they did, and one of the advantages of E3.Ss is because they are smaller, they can use just a little space over here, and that opens up some space over here where the back plane would normally be, and you can actually put in dual GPUs, a single width or double width, but that's a cool little design that HPE came up with this chassis. So those are the 4 types of chassis. All right, so now that we know a little bit about the types of drives we can use, let's throw up a little chart. Let's kind of break it all down to the speeds and sizes for the different interfaces. So again, the different interfaces are going to be SATA, SAS, NVMe, which is going to be your U.2, U.3. You're going to have NVMe, which is going to be the E3.S. So those are the different interfaces to start with on our chart. So what speeds can we do? So for SATA solid-state drives, you're going to get 6 gigabits per second. Is what it is. It's been like that forever. When you go to SAS, it's going to jump to 24. When you go to NVMe U.3s, it's Gen 4, which technically comes out to 16, but I hate saying that because it's still faster than SAS due to latency and a bunch of other stuff, but it's Gen 4. When you go to the E3.S NVMe's, it's going to be Gen 5, which is one of the advantages there, and those are going to be your different speeds. Now let's talk about the sizes. So for SATA solid-state drive, it's going to be 7.68. For SAS, it's going to be 15.36. For NVMe, 15.36. For your E3.S, it's actually 30 terabytes. I'll be honest, I wish we had more time. We had to build this and get this right back out. I really wanted to test the NVMe's. That's one of the things that we like to do in our videos is basically help the community and tell them, hey, actually the spec sheet says this, but you can do X, Y, Z. So this is my call to the community. If you've dropped in a 30 terabyte U.3, which I feel in my gut and soul has to work. If they're working for the E3.S, why wouldn't they work for the U.3? But if you've used one, hey, drop a comment down below, help everybody else out. If you've gone even higher to 60 terabytes or whatever you've done, hey, just help everybody out. Let us know, hey, I've used X, Y, Z and it worked, and that would be super helpful for everybody. And then you're going to have SATA and SAS hard drives, which are just a normal 2.5 inch because there's not a 3.5 inch large form factor option, which is worth noting. When you go to a SATA hard drive, you go to now revolutions per minute, and it's going to be 7.2K revolutions per minute. And yes, that again is just a spinning platter going around fast and fast, and it's that the older stuff that is more likely to fall out because it's a mechanical device, especially when you go to a SAS hard drive, because you're not only going to get 7.2K, but you can get 10K or 15K. So that is when the ball bearings definitely will wear out, and we are a big fan of solid state drives just for that reason. And then for your SATA hard drive, it's a whopping 2 terabytes and 2.4 for SAS. So those are going to be your overall sizes. All right, so we definitely don't want to forget about our M.2s. This is important for boot drives. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this off to my main man, Mason, and he is going to throw up a little chart for you right now and show you a little bit about the M.2s.
Hey, it's Mason with Cloud Ninjas, and today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the boot drive options available for the HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen11 server. The primary boot solution for this system is the HPE NS204i-U NVMe boot optimized storage device. This module supports 2 hot plug M.2 NVMe SSDs configured in RAID 1 for operating system redundancy. The NS204i-U uses NVMe drives and not SATA, providing significantly better performance for boot workloads. Supported capacities include 480 gigs and 960 gig NVMe M.2 SSDs, with self-encrypting drive options also available. With 2 960 gig drives installed, the maximum raw capacity is 1.92 terabytes. This module supports 2 M.2 2280 form factor SSDs, which are 22mm wide by 80mm long. If you're deploying an AMD EPYC 9005 series processors, you'll need to use the newer NS204i-U V2 option. The NS204i-U is an excellent solution for keeping your operating system isolated from your primary storage while providing RAID-protected boot redundancy. If you have any questions about configuring an HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen11 server, reach out to us at sales@cloudninjas.com. That's sales@cloudninjas.com.
All right, so now that we've gone over a ton of information and appreciate you hanging with us this long, let's go ahead and show you how to do the install, which again is going to be super easy because it's a hot swap, and then we'll show you the 2 testing tools to close this out. But before we do, I'm going to grab my ESD gear. Be right back.
Hey, this is Mason with Cloud Ninjas, and today I'll be showing you guys how to install your drives into your HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen11 server. Now, as you can see, we have our NVMe SSD here, and we'll be using it to replace a hard drive in the first bay. One key thing to note is that pressing this button here will pop that lever out, and this will allow you to uninstall your drives from the server, and it'll also help us install the drive into the server as well. So now in the first bay, we will go ahead and press this button, and the lever will pop out. And all you need to do is just simply pull this hard drive out all the way. And as you can see, this is a 2.5 inch HDD drive. And so now we'll go ahead and take this NVMe SSD and slot it into the bay. And now the lever is popped out. And so once it goes in all the way, you can see that the lever kind of goes back a little bit. And at that point, you can go ahead and push the lever back down, and this will install the drive all the way into the bay. If you're having trouble slotting the drive all the way in and it's getting stuck, one key thing that is really good to know is if you have the lever popped out, there's a spring in the corner of the drive. Just go ahead and press on that spring and then your drive will be fully inserted into the slot. Congratulations, you've now installed your drives into your HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen 11 server. So now we'll go ahead and show you two testing tools that we really like. Be right back.
All right, so what we're gonna do now is show you how to test your drives, and really this is gonna show you how to test your ProLiant Gen 11 server as a whole. What we're going to do is show you how to run an embedded diagnostics application. Now this tool is already integrated into your firmware, and it's a very useful tool to help you check and verify that the hardware is functioning properly. So first things first, turn on your server. During boot, you're going to press F9 and you're going to access System Utilities. This will take a couple of minutes for your server to finish initializing, so just know it might take a few minutes to be able to get into the System Utilities. Once you do get to the System Utilities page, you're going to scroll down to the Embedded Applications options, press Enter. A Starting Devices message will appear. Let it load. It'll take a couple of seconds. In the Embedded Applications page, you're going to scroll down to Embedded Diagnostics, press Enter. This is going to take you to the Server Hardware Diagnostics UEFI application. Scroll down to the Systems Test option and press Enter. On the Systems Test page, you're going to have three different test options: Fast Test, Regular Test, or Extensive Test. For the sake of this video, because we don't want to waste anyone's time, we're going to do the Fast Test option, but I do recommend at home doing the Extensive Test option. This is just going to be a little bit more in depth and make sure, again, that all your hardware is functioning properly. So in the Systems Fast Test page, or whichever test you chose, you're going to click Run Once. This is going to start the test. Now, do note that the test can take a couple of minutes or even up to an hour plus, depending on the amount of memory you have, the amount of drives, and just your hardware as a whole. So do note that this can take a little bit of time to run the test.
Alrighty guys, so I have HD Sentinel pulled up right now, and as you can see, we currently have two drives plugged in. We have this installed into a storage array where we like to plug in multiple drives at a time so we can test those drives. HD Sentinel is an awesome tool because you can see things like the power on hours, which is great, especially when you're buying used equipment. You can see how long that drive has been in use. You don't want to be using drives that have been, heavily used, because then you have a higher risk of drive failure. And that's one of the reasons why HD Sentinel is such a cool tool. But as you can see, we can just go ahead, plug a drive into the array, and it'll automatically populate within the software. And like I said, lots of information. It'll give you health scores of the drives. As you can see, the two we have up top, they have 100% health score, while the one at the bottom has a 99%. So all pretty good.
All right, you've done it. You've successfully tested your drives and your server as a whole. Do us a favor, if you found anything that helped you in this video, click that like and smash that subscribe. And if you're looking for any custom built servers, we do HPE, Dell, Supermicro, IBM, Cisco, Whitebox. We do new and we do used, and we also do spare parts. We'd love the opportunity to earn your data center or your home lab's business. Please email us at sales@cloudengine.com. That's sales@cloudengine.com. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Take care.